girls, grab your beers.
Hey everybody, this is Charlie from Anthrax, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
This is Mark Metcalf, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio.
You are listening to today's Boondoggle with Bailey on Domain Cleveland Radio. Yes, Kato Kalin listens to this all the time.
Welcome to today's Boondoggle. Now here's your host.
I am Monty Heath, so one Heath, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle.
Hey, what's up? It's John from Skillet, and you are listening to today's Boondoggle on Domain Cleveland Radio.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns to historic Cruise Stadium. Slipknots, Disturbed, Pantera, The Original Misfits, Evanescence, Limp Bizkit, Judas Priest, Stain, Breaking Benjamin, A Day to Remember, Falling in Reverse, Sleep Token, Rise Again, 311, Seether, Mudvayne, and many more. May 16th through the 19th, Columbus, Ohio. Tickets on sale now at SonicTempleFestival.com.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle. And real quick housekeeping note, if you're watching us on YouTube or Rumble or BitChute or Odyssey, please hit that follow and subscribe button. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple, Google, whatever podcast platform you utilize, please hit that follow and subscribe button so we can continue to bring you conversations like the one I'm about to bring you today. Man, I am really excited, man. I didn't think after I retired from the military I'd get a chance to go back to Kuwait, but today I kind of do virtually. I'm talking with ABZY of the band SRAI. What's going on, ABZY?
What's good, man? First of all, I need to comment about your T-shirt. I like that T-shirt. Jim Kuwait, let's go.
Yeah. I mean, I had to, when I knew we were talking, man, I had to go like dig it out. You know, I was like, had that. As we were talking before we went on the air, you know, I got to serve over there in 2008. Got to experience the city and the culture and stuff. I may have even driven past some of the places you filmed your music videos, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
But
dude.
when I saw when John sent me the email and I saw that there was a Kuwaiti metal band, I was like, all right, I got to talk to these guys. This would be cool, man. So glad to have you on, man.
I'm happy to be here, man. And it's really nice and such a great coincidence, you know, that you served in Kuwait for how many years?
Well, I just did a deployment of like almost a year, almost a full year over there. But
yeah, and here we are, you know, both guys been in like from Kuwait and all that stuff, you know. That's what's up.
Yeah, and like I was telling you, it's like, you know, I've always done like concert promotions and music stuff here in Cleveland, Ohio, in the States. And even when I was deployed, like record labels, this is back when before everything went digital, they were sending me CDs and stuff, and I would share with the guys I was serving with over there new music that was coming out, and playing a lot of, you know, new metal and stuff like that. And even some of the bands I became friends with sent care packages over there, like Hatebreed and stuff like that, you know. And I would share with the guys. And when we got a chance to go into town and go to the mall, you know, and I looked at the CD collections. Of course, I always check out the music store. You know, there wasn't really a Kuwaiti metal section over there that I saw. And so, but you can tell me maybe if that's changed at all, or you know, just share some of your story. But usually when I get somebody on for the first time, I like to get a quick background. So do you remember originally what you wanted to be when you grew up?
To be honest, like when I was a kid, I had no idea. But becoming a teenager, I felt like I want to do music. I always felt like I had a story to tell, you know, somehow. Maybe because I grew up in a broken family. My parents got separated when I was at a very young age, and that kind of like it clicked with me and made me feel like maybe music is the right way to express my feelings and share my stories with all of that, And even since I was a kid, actually, my cousin, she used to show me a lot of Western music, and like the first singer that I fell in love with, and I was like, wow, that's the music that I like, which is the English music or the Western music. I fell in love with Michael Jackson music, and this is what I was listening, and I was trying to dance like Michael Jackson, but I failed. I'm a bad dancer. But yeah, I grew up as a kid, been listening to a lot of Michael Jackson, and then I moved to the hip hop and rap era when Eminem came in with the "Cleaning Out My Closet" album and all that, all that music back then. And since I reached the teenage, and this is when I was like, okay, I need something with more energy, with more power, and that's where I discovered rock and metal. And by the age 15, it's the time when I was like, I actually do want to make my own band, and I want to write and perform. And that's when it all started and happened. Later on, formed my first band, I would say around 2006, 2007. And in that era, it's where the emo, screamo scene was going on, like all these emo bands. And we grew up listening to that stuff, and we went through that phase. We actually recorded 2 albums, I think, with my first band. It got hyped in Kuwait, which is surprisingly, it happened. Because, like people are not interested in Western music than the Khaliji music or the Gulf music or the Arabic music, because this is an Arab area, so they would listen to something and understand, and not a lot of people understand English back then. But somehow it worked out with us, and we did really good. Like we did really good from 2007 till 2012, and then later on we all got separated and had interest in different things,
Yeah, what was the name of your first band?
It's called Black 13 Angels with the Z
nice.
by the end. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We did a couple of cool stuff back then. Actually, our first gig, it was a battle of the bands. Yeah, it was in the British School of Kuwait. It happened, and actually we won the first place, surprisingly. It was a shock. It was a surprise. We didn't know that we were actually that good, on stage, and with the energy we had, and everyone went crazy when we went on the stage and performed. And that was a day to remember. I still can't. I mean, like, this is where it all started and kept going, I would say.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then who were your? You said like like Michael Jackson as a performer was kind of one of your early influences, but then as you started getting more into the metal side, who started influencing you more into that?
Oh damn, dude! More like I was like hardly into the new metal era. I loved Mudvayne, I loved Slipknots, I loved Linkin Park, these bands coming up and performing the new stuff, Limp Bizkit, all that groovy, jumpy, crazy kind of vibe. And when I was watching that stuff, I was like, damn, that's what I want. That's what I like, Yeah. And I would say those bands had a huge impact on me,
Nice. And then, so you play music as well. When did you start like picking up instruments and learning to play as well?
When I was 17, back in 2006, I picked up my first guitar and just kept playing until, like, I wouldn't call myself a guitarist because I still don't think I'm a good guitarist, until like I mastered it and I became like really good at it. This is when I will call myself, but I can play, like the best part of playing or knowing how to play the guitar is I'm able to write music. You know, that's what I like. I mean, somehow I am a guitarist, but still, you know, because I can't play like crazy solos and all that lead stuff.
But who are some of your guitar influences?
That's a hard question, to be honest, because I've never looked at guitarists. Because again, I don't consider myself a guitarist. That's why I don't think I have influence when it comes to guitar.
But originally, why do you feel you picked up the guitar? You could have, you know, tried drums or something like that. There had to be somebody that kind of was like, oh, okay, I want to try and do that. Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest. I think I just fell in love with the sound of it. Yeah, I just fell in love with the sound of it from video games, from different bands. But I've never had a specific person that made me like wanna grab the guitar and play. Because mostly the singing is the main thing for me. You know, I focused on the singers more than focusing on the guitarist. But yeah, I would say a lot of bands, a lot of riffs, a lot of crazy riffs that made me want to play, and that's how I got to it. Yeah.
And then you know, you'd mentioned you know, your band that you played with early on, but when did SRAI come together for you?
SRAI was formed January 2022. Yeah, this is when SRAI became a thing. To be honest, the first single was released. I thought it was going to be a solo project, which is me doing it on my own. And then I'm like, wait, I have my good friends who perform with me with my original solo stuff. Why don't I, you know, make a new project and get these guys in? So this is when I talked to them and I showed them the song, and they really liked it, and they're like, yeah, let's do it.
And then for you know, for the audience, like, what was the inspiration behind, and what does SRAI mean, and what was the inspiration from picking that name?
All right, so basically the name SRAI, it means a lantern. Yeah. And you know, Kuwait back then, before before all this technology, and back then when the houses were made of sand and mud, you know, there is no electricity, there is no all those machines. So they had the lantern to go around, and the lantern is actually the guiding light for the roads, for the shops, for the houses. So we wanted to choose a traditional name that has a meaning, and we chose SRAI as in the lantern, the guiding light. So SRAI is the guiding light.
Nice. And then, you know, maybe like you're becoming like a guiding light for the next generation out there to
that's the goal.
Them to the metal and rock world.
100%. 100%. Like the goal of the band is to make good music that people can relate to, also to inspire the youth, you know, and especially the youth in the region, because I don't know, like, kids nowadays, they're not interested in doing anything, you know what I mean? They just want to be on their iPads and play video games. Okay, what else?
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. You know, so we are doing that somehow with a couple of people, and surprisingly, SRAI is doing great with the youth here in Kuwait, especially. Also in the region, I would say there is a lot of people who are interested in the band, and they inspired by the band, and you know, that's what keeps us going and makes us happy, to be honest.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you know, it's like a lot of kids today too, they always seem to like feel like they're not being heard, you know, like the adults are all you know, I've learned with my daughters, and my relationship got better with them when I started speaking to them on their, you know, on equal levels, not speaking down to them and stuff, and listening, you know, and allowing their concerns matter, you know, and a lot of kids, unfortunately, they don't feel like they're being heard. And what better way to be heard than screaming into a mic what you're feeling,
Exactly.
you know? And like
Exactly.
you were saying, you know, the what you were dealing with, you know, with the separation of your parents as a youth, and that pain and those questions and what, you know, what kids go through in situations like that, you know, you were able to make it like it's almost therapeutic, you know, you're able to put pen to paper, like journaling, and then tell your story through music, and maybe aggressive music to get it out, and also help somebody else that's listening that may be going through something similar, you know.
100%. I mean, like, it is the way, as you mentioned, it is a great therapy, you know, like that's an energy. Like when I take the energy and I put it in something I'm passionate about, it feels like a huge success. You know what I mean? So like having a passion, having a hobby is something very important, and like people are like ignoring that nowadays, you know. It's all because of they're being drained on social media, just like being on TikTok for the whole day, being on Instagram for the whole day. Other than that, you could have done something, you could have achieved something, you know, in your day. And achieving is I don't know, it's like the value of achieving, it's just you feel so good about yourself, and that's what really matters. And that's what we need to feel as a human. Like, I mean, our existence has a purpose in life, and that's to achieve something, you know.
Yeah.
But without achieving, without doing anything, you feel lost. That's why most of the people feel depressed most of the time, because they're not doing anything in their life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You've said so much right there. And that's what, like, you know, I'm dealing with some people in my life too, you know. It's just like, if we are all created for a purpose, you know, whatever your religious beliefs and backgrounds are, you know, we were all created by, you know, there's a creator, you know, and we are all given some divine purpose. And it seems like technology and everything today is more like distracting us, cutting off that source, you know, cutting off that connection. Other thing that I love about music too, you know, is like it's I know like English isn't your first language, you know.
Exactly.
Right?
It's not.
But
yeah.
Music is a universal language that speaks to our hearts. All of us can feel and hear and communicate that way. And it's a great unifier, you know. And you know, you were able to, you know, connect on a heart level with some music that wasn't maybe the norm for you to grow up listening to, but it spoke to you, you know, and it led you now to your purpose, you know.
Right.
So it's just I don't know, there's somewhere I was going with it, somewhere nice and philosophical, but it's a beautiful thing, you know.
It is saying, like, you know? 100%. Sometimes when I'm sitting alone with myself, I question myself, what would I be, or what would I've become if I wasn't doing what I'm doing right now, which is writing music and doing all that stuff that I love, you know. I have no answer. I could have been lost, you know. And the thing around the area here, the Gulf Arabian region especially, maybe the societies are different, and the mindset is a bit different, and people are always looking at things differently. Not everyone is open-minded, not everyone is understandable, and some people are very hard-headed. But it's nice to come in between and try to explain yourself and try to put yourself out there, and you tell people, look at what I'm doing. I've got something. Maybe you don't understand, but it feels good, and I'm not harming anyone. I'm not doing any bad. Just give it a try. Give it get to know it. Don't be afraid. And this is where people become like, okay, I'll try to accept it, even though it might be not for me, but I understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, I've always kind of, you know, I guess been like, I don't know, like the in my family, kind of been the dreamer and the one that I would ask the questions and stuff. And like you said, where would I be, if you weren't doing music and stuff like that, because we grow up in under certain conditions. Like, I always wanted to do what I'm doing right now, having having an interview, talking to people in the entertainment world. But when I was a kid, I had people that I guess they thought they were looking out for my best interests. Is like, no, you got to, because your grades aren't this, and you got to conform to this, and you should go get, a good 9-to-5 job and go punch the clock, like, and it's taking away what your true purpose is. What your purpose is, and then you're in this box, and maybe they had the best intentions, man, but it's just like so many years I went, another reason why I joined the military too is just like, I don't know, maybe this is my purpose, but it was somebody else's purpose. I just happen to, be serving in it. I remember the experience I had when I was in Kuwait. I was kind of a new father. My girls were very little when I was over there, and I was separated from them. And I'm like, what am I doing over here? What is my reason for being here? And it, it was supporting the war in Iraq and, all this other stuff. But I seen these Kuwaiti kids playing, kicking a ball, and I was just like, man, there's no reason why my kids can't be kicking the ball with them. It's like, what are we all being conditioned to believe, and what is the real, what is our real purpose? And I think, our real purpose is to be all united people, with the same fears, with the same dreams, with the same whatever, and help each other.
100%. I mean, like, let's talk, for example, about religion. Yeah. So Islam is the latest religion, right? All right. So basically, I'm pretty sure my great all the way back great grandfather is Jewish, and the guy before him Christian, and the guy before him believed in something else. I mean, those are just stages that we go through from one all the way to keep going and going and going in generations, right? We are all the same. It's just like those labels are putting on to separate people from being together. That's it.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that's the latest thing. And like you were saying, with the distractions that kids are getting into with social media, I mean, there's just like that's more indoctrination. The schools are more indoctrination. It's just like us versus them. There's always either man versus woman, black versus white. It
doesn't make any sense.
This religion versus this religion, and who's benefiting? That's where I'm at today. I know who's benefiting from us being, so divided. If we, the people of the world, which I think there's something going on, man, worldwide. And we go down a whole rabbit hole of, global events, but there's something going on. And there's it seems like a lot of negative, but there's also a lot of positive because people are waking up and having conversations like we're having today.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Even though I know John's going to be mad. We're supposed to be pumping the band and everything on here, but hey, man, when do I get a chance to talk to one of my brothers again?
Hell yeah, dude. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, but yeah. So I wanted to ask you too about and I love where the conversation is going, and I'm not trying to distract from that, and I hope like people take something out of our conversation here, but got to stay a little bit on task. But I liked your single for Faith, the video. What was like the message and inspiration behind writing that song?
All right. So Faith, it's a song, because the song we had before Faith was a song called Trauma, and trauma is definitely, what happens to you and takes you all the way down. And it's like this.
That was going to be my next question, because I saw that video too, and both of those I connected with.
They are connected 100%. Yeah. The past couple of years been really hard for me, because I had family issues and like had to move from a place, forced to move from a place to another, and And like those past years, I discovered like a lot of people who I gave my trust, and I thought they're like family and close friends. And this is I realized it's just all fake, you know. Like people can change just like that, you know. I mean, especially like you would expect that to happen from a friend, but not a family, you know. Like all of those years, you're growing up around those people, and then those people are actually as snakes, you know, hissing behind your back and doing all that shit behind your back. And they're planning for something behind your back. They just waited for something to, they waited for the right time to make a change and force you, you know. So I had a huge change in life. And I gained a lot of weight. I was like going like really hardcore working out, and I was fit as fuck that time. And then because of that depression, I just didn't want to leave the house, you know. I was just like pretty much eating, going to work, and staying at home. Eating, going to work, and staying at home. I have never had panic attacks. I have never had an anxiety. But because of those events that happened to me, I started having panic attacks and anxiety, you know. I have trust issues. Obviously, I don't trust people easily because of that stuff. And that's where I felt like I fell down in a void, in a dark void where it has no way out. I need guidance, and I couldn't find the guidance. And that's what Trauma is about, you know, the song. It felt like I was trapped inside myself in a dark void. That's how it felt. But
yeah, that one really, like, I really connected with that video, and I didn't know that they were tied. So I would have switched the order around. But the video with, you know, you're all wrapped in bandages, you're all wounded, you know, and the story that it was telling, you know, it's just like, and I mean, part of me doing this is also healing from my trauma. You know, I have PTSD and anxiety, and I've had family trust.
I'm getting goosebumps talking about this.
I've had, you know, a lot of trust issues. I'm in a new relationship that I keep almost self-sabotaging because of my trust issues with the past. This person isn't that person, you know, and it's making it hard to open up and trust this person because I'm comparing them to somebody they're not, you know, because of the wounds, you know. But you know, regardless, this is like I know that we're not the only ones, and it's good to talk about 100%. This. It's the way you heal. And like I said, I do this, you know, I got sober after my time to Kuwait, my last deployment. I came home and I was like losing my kids and losing my family, and I was a wreck, man. And then I got sober, and things almost seemed like they got worse because I didn't have that crutch, that escape, you know. Mm-hmm. I had to learn how to deal with my feelings. I had to learn to deal with myself, and I'm still learning how to deal with myself. But it's been a process, and I've come a long way. And like I said, doing this podcast is part of that for me personally. But yeah, I love when people take their own and they're willing to be vulnerable and put that out in the music, because you're also helping others to find a way to heal too. But yeah, continue telling me about, you know, that video and the story you were telling.
Yeah, 100%. So the trauma it's pretty much about that. And as you mentioned, the idea of the song or every song that we make, it's to tell the people or whoever is listening, you are not alone. We are with you in this, you know. We are all together. That's why we share that message, because it's okay to talk about it. Whatever you're going through, let it all out and find your way to the right to the right path, or find your way to escape from reality. Sometimes you need that. Find your distraction that helps you heal, which is what you're doing and what I'm doing. Exactly. Yeah. And this is where faith comes in, and like as you see in the music video, a mysterious guy chasing, a mysterious guy running, and the other guy is chasing him. He wants to know, like, human curiosity is like, you want to know what the hell is that, you know? Like when you see something, you want to get to know it. So the guy with the mask runs and the other guy chases. He wants to know why is he standing and just looking there out of nowhere. So he's chasing, he's running after him, he disappears, he comes in, and then they fight together. And then he discovers that he's fighting with himself. So he's fighting with his trauma, his void, his pain. That is the same person, you know. It's an inner peace. It's a fight to find an inner peace, and that's what faith is about. Like, no matter how far you drown, you'll find a way. You'll find the light. You'll find it's not gonna stay the same. You'll be okay. That's
this
what life about,
as they say, you know. And also kind of going back to like what we are talking about with all this division and all these things that they seem to plant to keep us fighting against each other. They also seem to put a lot. We're more easily, I guess, manipulated and distracted when we're in a fear state. When they keep us down in that fear, in that trauma, in a traumatic state, in that fear state. You know, like you said, you didn't want to do anything. You gained weight. You just worked. You ate. You stayed home. Because and that's what they want, you know. They put on the goggles and plug into the matrix or whatever, you know. Don't rise above, because when we get to that state, the opposite of fear is faith. And when we start believing and we have hope again and we rise through our trauma and defeat it, you know, we have faith. We have faith in not just our you know whatever's going to get us through, but we have faith in our fellow people come alongside us, and we have faith in ourselves again that we can accomplish, we could grow, you know. So
self-faith, self-love, encouraging and excitement. It's first of all, it's you first. Work on yourself before you take yourself out and around, you know. Like, it's just a mindset. Just set your mind to it and go with it, you know.
Yeah, it's like they say, if you're on an airplane and it's going down, you know, you put the mask on first. You know, when the mask comes down, you got to put the mask on first, so then you can help the person next to you put their mask on. You know, because you're no good to anybody if you're not taking care of yourself. You know, if the gas tank is empty, I can't help anybody else. If my candles burn out, I can't be the lantern, the SRAI for someone else.
There you go. Know? There you go. Exactly. Yeah, man.
And then you know, I wanted to talk more about a little bit about you know, your guys' sound. There's been some comparisons to like Bad Omens and Bring Me the Horizon and stuff like that. Who would you say are some of your current influences?
Damn. It's hard to choose. Been listening to a lot of genres, different genres and different bands, but Faith was influenced by a British band called Architects. They're like I think they're like modern metal kind of a band. Yeah, it was inspired by Architects, Bad Omens, and those two were the huge influence to that song. I would say so. Yeah, 100%.
And then like now that I mean, you've got a couple singles out. I trying to remember if I read you know, if there's a EP or album that's currently being worked on.
In the making, yes, sir. Got a song that's being released this month. By the end of it, and it's called Abandoned, and it talks about pretty much what's happening in the Palestine and in Israel, the situation, how hard it is that kids are dying because of the war, you know, and that's the idea of that song. And after that, also got like I think 8 to 7 songs being prepared for an EP album or a full album if we had by that time later on this year. more songs. Might have a full album instead of EP. I'm like I'm on going. You know, like I keep writing over and over, and that's like I'm in the zone at the moment. So I keep writing new stuff over and over. So I think we're gonna go for a full album.
Yeah, and you know, it's like what's great is like, I mean, you've already been like so transparent with things that you have dealt with, and you're using it. You know, you're taking that and then creating something to help others with, and you know, finding all kinds of inspiration. Yeah, I definitely could see a full album. Heck, you could. I'm sure you could write a song about us talking on today. You know, on this interview, have some, you know, find some inspiration in it. I know I'm being
100%
right now.
I'm like I'm already excited to like write something right after. Trust me, I'm in the writing mood. So on to go. Yeah, dude.
And then do you guys have like you know, a current label that you're working with, or how will you put it out when it's done?
Not really. We're not like we are independent, so we're doing everything on our own. I take care of the marketing and the promoting. John, I found John by a friend of mine, actually, from a band in Saudi Arabia, and that's how I connected with John. And yeah, but other than that, like the music videos I shoot and edit and direct everything in that. Music composing, I do mostly everything, and then I share it with my bandmates if they want to add their parts and change their parts. Promoting, I'm using Instagram to promote. I'm using YouTube to promote, also TikTok. So I'm trying to push it as much as I can. Faith did really good because I think we did a good promoting campaign for it. I was just like looking in every corner, you know, like I was going through TikTok and finding like those accounts, promoters that talks about music and have playlists on Spotify and stuff to add our song on. You donate like $10, for example, to be on the playlist. So I was like doing my research, and like this song did really good with the promoting.
Nice. Yeah. And then I want to go back to that video too real quick, because that was filmed in Kuwait City. As we were talking earlier, I did get a chance to check out some parts of Kuwait City and the mall and the towers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was it
got to go up in the towers and everything?
Was it the Kuwait Towers? You into it?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was sweet. Yeah. It was cool with the ones with the ball like on top.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah. And but where was the video filmed at?
It was actually filmed in Kuwait City. There is like a parking lot building, and we shot it inside.
And did you have to like clear that with anybody, or you guys just kind of like?
We just went in. Actually, the security. Funny story you mentioned. The security came in and he's like, "Yo, guys, you're not allowed to film here." I'm like, "Dude, please, we're a college students. We don't have a place to shoot. We have this project that we have to do by tomorrow, and please just let us shoot for 10 minutes." And he did. He did let us. You know, it worked.
Nice.
Yeah, you gotta hustle. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know about it. That's the music scene.
Yeah, dude.
But and what, like we were talking earlier too about, you know, I mean, there is a lot of distraction and negative things from that happen with social media, but it can also be, if used properly as a tool, you know, an independent band like yourself, it can be, you know, if you stay disciplined and focused, it can be, you know, a great tool to get you to, you know, here in the States, plays and people that you don't have to go through the labels and all that, the people that you'd normally have to sign your souls over to, you know, you can do it all on your own now and get a following, you know.
That's the goal.
And then let's talk a little bit about like I mean, you mentioned with your previous band, you know, playing the Battle of the Bands and stuff, but what's the music scene like for playing live there for you guys in Kuwait? Have you been able to put together any shows and any performances anywhere?
Since we like it's okay, it's very slow when it comes to shows and stuff. The local for local bands or local musicians, I would say, especially small groups, for example, like our band. It's very hard to find a venue to play. Usually when we do that kind of shows, we do it in private universities or colleges because they have their own show. What do you call it? Is it a stage and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually that's where we used to play, and there's people that plays in coffee shops. There's people that plays in restaurants, but we're not. We as SRAI, we're not that kind of a band. We don't want to play in a restaurant and in a coffee shop because usually when musicians play in there and people come along, people who wants to chill and listen to a guitar playing flamenco, for example, those kind of
more like acoustic or something,
Exactly, yeah, that's the kind of gigs. But for a band, like we're planning actually. We want to play so bad, but all this time we were planning to put out more music. So when it's the time to play, we have enough music to play live, So I think by this year, 100% we will have enough songs to play live. So I think we will reach out to these universities and find and book a gig in there. We have a connection with those guys, and we played there before. So hopefully it happened. But the bad thing about those kind of places, which is I don't like, the crowd should be seated because it's like literally like the hall or the place that we're playing is a seated hall, which is it's for studying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I don't like it. But I mean that's all we get. Why not? Even if I had a small room to perform, I would do it. I don't fucking care.
I just had an idea too. It's like I remember, this would be pretty incredible if it were to somehow be able to be worked out. But I remember when I was over there, I was at Camp Arifjan, where I was stationed at, and we would have like Armed Forces Entertainment, or the USO would bring musicians over to play for the troops on the base. We had the stage and the setup and everything, and they'd good a distraction, nice distraction entertainment. I got to do security for Everclear came and played. Scott Stapp from Creed came and played. We had I forget this one rap group comedy show and stuff, but I don't know what the security and the logistics would be like, but hey, you got a home based metal band that could come and come play for the troops. I don't know how you guys would feel about that, but it
would be cool. It would be definitely like check on the list. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the music is our universal language, man. So
it is.
That would be something incredible. Maybe something to look into.
Oh, 100%. Like opening for someone, that would be great,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, that'd be quite a thing. It was a great experience for me over there being the music guy and then getting to do the security for him. It's like Scott Stapp afterwards. My oldest daughter, I missed her birthday while I was over there, and he sang "Happy Birthday" to her on video for me. I got that up on YouTube and everything, and it's just like it was a really cool experience. But so ABZY, before we get ready and wrap up, I want to first I want to ask, like, for we kind of mentioned a little bit about your social media and stuff, but any of the listeners out there that want to follow SRAI and support you guys and check you guys out, where would you send them?
I think like the main promotion page would be Instagram. So SRAI Band on Instagram, SRAI Band on Instagram. That would be easy. And also just Google it. You'll find it. You'll find all the accounts and stuff. We're almost on every social media, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Yeah,
definitely check the videos out on YouTube. highly recommend those. And then see
Let us know what you think.
yeah. Check out Faith, man. See if they got an A on their college project there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I want to ask you a couple of questions I normally ask guests that I have on.
Please.
Is there, a particular song that you feel has inspired you in life that's like a go-to on your playlist? Like when you were going through that time of depression and stuff, was there something that pulled you through? Was there a song that you listened to that?
Actually, yeah, there is something different than what I'm doing, which is, have you heard of NF?
No, I don't think so.
All right, so basically NF is a Christian rapper.
Okay.
All right, from the States. And like, he helped me a lot with depression. And I think he's the reason I was like, boom, what the fuck am I doing? Go back to normal. NF has a song called The Search. Please, I want you to listen to it. So NF, The Search. That song talks about mental illness and how effective it is. And when I heard that song, I was like, wow, this is what I needed to hear. It's such an amazing song, strong lyrics, very motivational. He's a motivational Christian rapper, and he doesn't curse in his music, and he has a good message. All of his music has to do with real life situations. So I would say NF The Search is the go-to.
Nice. I'm going to check that out as soon as we get off here.
Hell yeah.
And then who are 3 people who've inspired you and you can credit for making you the person you are today?
I would 100% credit my cousin that introduced me to Western music and made me listen to Michael Jackson for the first time, because I think if that didn't happen, I wouldn't listen to English music, so that goes to her. Second person is a person that I don't know on social media. Back on Facebook days when I had my first band, that person left a negative comment, and that person, I think it's a girl. She was like something about, you guys are wasting your time and you're gonna fail. I don't think I'm a failure. I think I've done enough, especially in a place like Kuwait, to do what I'm doing. It's amazing.
Hell yeah. So I hope she's listening. Boo on you.
So. Yeah. The third person, I would definitely say the people that keeps listening to the stuff that I do and they appreciate it 100%. That goes to them.
Awesome.
Yeah, dude.
And then is there a any like causes or organizations that you support and encourage others to check out?
I would like everyone to put a spotlight on the Middle East metal bands. We have crazy amounts. If you go on Spotify and write Arab metal, you will see a playlist with a yellow Spotify logo. It has crazy amounts from a crazy amount of Middle Eastern bands, and I'm pretty sure you will find some bands and you will be very impressed, and they're so fucking good, dude. Especially now the region, it's getting big with the metal, especially in Saudi Arabia, dude. Wow. The music scene, the metal scene, it's crazy. Do you know that Metallica played there last December?
I thought I read that, that they played there, and that, WWE's been running events there now.
Exactly.
It's like, and I'm a big WWE fan, so I've been watching those, man. And it's just like, it's so inspiring to see the kids, just having fun and being able to get out and, and the fans just enjoying, it's like, I've never been to Saudi Arabia. I got I did get to, briefly get into, visit Iraq. And like I said, most of my time was over there in Kuwait. And like I said, there was like whatever, we're told here by the media and by the powers that be, we're kind of conditioned to believe certain things. Like you mentioned, the lantern being used when you're living in mud huts before technology. Some people think that's all that's still over there.
No. You've seen it yourself. No.
Yeah, exactly. And I seen, a lot of the tents set up during Ramadan and stuff, but that was part of the
traditional.
The tradition,
Yeah.
But there's so much things that we're conditioned to believe, and you can't be someone to judge and speak on it until you've been there. I had a Navy veteran on previous episode, and we were talking about people just talking about what they're regurgitating sound bites that have been told to them, but I've been there, I've seen it,
Yeah.
And I love the fact that that things are coming together, and that metal is playing such a huge part. The metal music scene is playing such a huge part of, uniting all of us and getting us all together to see that we're not different.
Here we are.
Exactly. Here we are talking, and I hope, when I finish this and send this to John, well, I have your email now too, so I can stay in touch and communicate with you, that you could pass this along to some of these other bands in your network there in the Middle East, and I can have them on as well.
Definitely.
And, we'll, just like, pull the curtain on the great Oz, man. Is this like,
yes,
there's more to unite us than to divide us, and let metal be the way,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're all one when it comes to metal. We are all into it.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'm excited about that. And then, so support support the Middle Eastern metal community and scene. And then I like asking this question too. Favorite toy as a child?
Are we gonna talk about video games or just like anything?
Oh yeah, something that you played with your hands that was a.
I can't seem to remember, but I liked bicycles a lot when I was a kid. Would that consider it as a toy?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you're much younger than me, so it's like, it seems like of the generation of video games, and that's great that you had the video games, but you also, like you said, knew that you had more of a purpose too past video games.
Oh yeah.
A lot of kids, unfortunately, a lot of kids today.
I got into video games at a very like around 2017, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, thankfully it was a gateway to other things to pursue your purpose and get your word out, where others, kind of just stay stuck in that, especially now with virtual reality and AI and everything, it's like there's nothing like living for real and experiencing things, for real. And then, if, I mentioned WWE play in Saudi Arabia. Were you a fan at all of wrestling?
Oh yeah. Oh yes, sir. I remember like when I was a kid, me and my cousins, we were like watching wrestle actually, and my grandpa he enjoys it. So every weekend we used to gather at grandpa's house. That's the tradition in Kuwait or the Middle East usually. Every weekend we gather in the family house, and grandpa was a huge fan of the wrestling, and he puts it on and everyone is watching in silent. When it's over, the kids are wrestling and grandpa's mad. That's how it was, yeah.
It's funny too, because like my grandpa got me into wrestling.
There you go.
And they like back in like WrestleMania 2, is when I started like getting into it with grandpa. And they had when they started doing the Survivor Series, that was originally on Thanksgiving Day. You know, they
Oh.
had that pay-per-view on Thanksgiving Day, and I remember we'd have host the family over our house on Thanksgiving Day, and then after we'd finish eating and we'd go watch Survivor Series, you know, because Grandpa was a big fan. My dad hated it, you know,
Okay.
but, you know, we would all get together full bellies and watch, you know, the Survivor Series wrestling and stuff. So it was, and still to this day, you know, I'm a fan. I still watch.
Hell yeah.
You know, that's one of my positive distractions, I guess. You know, it's my male soap opera. You know,
It's very entertaining, you know.
Who is one of your favorites?
The Hardy brothers, I would say they were fun to watch, you know.
Oh yeah. Nice. And then what when you know, we were talking about our purpose and pursuing our purpose, but like when ABZY is no longer with us, what do you want your legacy to be? How do you want to be remembered?
The guy who kept trying even though things were hard on him, you know, he kept trying. The guy who kept trying, I would say so. Nice.
Yeah. Well, hey man, I'm glad we had to have this conversation. I'm glad we got to connect and talk. And we have each other's emails now, so let's stay connected and keep me. You know, I'm not trying to take John's job away from him, but you know, keep me in you know, up to date on how things are going there in the Kuwait music scene and in the Middle East music scene in general. Like I said, when I finish editing this, I'll make sure I send it to you to share, and hopefully I can help promote more. I always you know, when I was over there, I was, like I said, I would get the record labels would send me stuff, and I'd promote on base to my fellow Navy and Army people that I was serving with. I would you know, promote music to them there. Now, you know, let me take the opportunity to promote your guys' music here in the States, you know?
Yes, sir. That would be amazing, definitely.
Yeah, man. Once again, ABZY, I thank you so much for your time, and
Cheers.
it was really great talking with you. And before I let you go, you want to do me one last favor? Mind cutting a promo ID for the show? Just introduce yourself, who you're with, and you're listening to today's Boondoggle.
Alrighty. Yo, this is ABZY. You're listening to Boondoggle podcast, and make sure to tune in with SRAI.
Awesome, ABZY.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks again, brother.
Cheers.
It was good talking
Cheers,
with
brother.
you.
You too, brother.
And you take care.
You too, brother. Take it easy.